Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live in your car? Well, here's everything that you need to know. Surprisingly, you can actually make money. There's a few ways that you can do this. Number one, you could be lucky enough to have a job online. There's also day jobs on Kijiji, or if you know someone with a cabin or farm. And if none of those work, you can always resort to, well... Although, realistically, if you're wanting to live in your car, it's most likely not to make money, it's to explore, so here's some expenses. I personally started this trip with 1,000 Canadian dollars cash. And I quickly blew it. So here's a realistic bar graph of what you should expect to pay. Holy... Gas. This is gonna be your biggest expense.
Absolutely soul-sucking.
Gas will cost you so much that you'll wish you turned into a 4-turbo 8.0 liter W16 engine so you can use that gas to fuel the crippling loneliness that is living in your car alone. I roughly spend $80 a tank on gas. Now, trust me, you can't consume gas, so what do you eat? Well, if you're feeling like the oil and gas billionaire Trevor Rees-Jones, you could most likely afford to eat out every single day. But considering that I'm not in a position of wealth and I'm not an oil and gas tycoon, I tend to buy $50 of food every 4 to 5 days. This typically consists of a bulk meat, clearance vegetables, and of course, Fruit Loops. You know, the necessities. I then mix that with bulk potatoes and onions that I brought from home, which I cook on my Coleman grill. And you can surprisingly eat really well. Just make sure that you don't leave cooked spaghetti in the back of your car for more than 5 days. 4 days is fine, but once it hits that 5 day, you're gonna regret it. Hopefully I didn't make anyone throw up there. But if you did, you're probably asking, where do you go to the bathroom? Well, anywhere. Just make sure that you don't pee on yourself. Because if you do, you're gonna have to find a laundromat, which typically costs $4 to $6 per load. And you'll probably want to have a gym membership so you can have a shower every once in a while. These can cost anywhere between $50 to $100 per month. Although, if I'm being completely honest, you could probably cut out both of these costs if one, you were willing to smell like a homeless man, or you had a lot of friends to rely on.
I just stayed at Quinn's dad's house.
But I digress. Once you've washed all your sheets, you're probably going to need a place to put them. My bed setup consists of 3 pieces of wood and my folded up childhood mattress. It's a very simple setup which allows me to look like I'm not living in my car. When nighttime comes, I take the reflectors that I bought from this trip and I throw them out the window because I am not normal and I seriously don't care if people watch me sleep. Also, if you're gonna sleep with your head in the trunk, make sure that you keep the propane in the front. Otherwise, you'll have very strange dreams. But anyways, this makes me look like I'm really not living in my car, which allows me to park in places like here, or here, or here, even here. Although I would not suggest it. That leads to the question, have you ever been confronted? Yes, I've been told to leave once. And I got a really scary note from this old lady saying that the warden will come after you if you don't leave. So I immediately did the only sensible thing and stayed exactly where I was. Although being able to go and see whatever you want at any time is absolutely incredible. Bye, Jasper! To BC, go to Kamloops. Vancouver, Tofino. Sometimes it sucks seeing something so beautiful and having no one around to share it with you. So I've definitely had my low moments. It's getting really hard to be alone. So I hope that you have lots of friends around you.
And I hope that they're good friends.
These moments typically inspire songs that you should go check out. Plug. Anyways, the question is, how do you keep yourself entertained in such a lonely environment? Every once in a while, I play hopscotch in the middle of parking lots. But that gets pretty old when you're doing it by yourself. So I then try to socialize with the animals. Hey bear! But they don't always want to socialize with me. So I write music.
That's how it goes.
But how do you play your electric guitar in your car? Well, I use my $800 ARC-V Energizer. Is it worth it? Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. But it has only dropped below 50% once, and I charge everything. My phone, my drone, and my nose. And of course my computer too. So I do like it. Other activities, you can go on a hike, you can try to catch pike, or you could even steal maybe not that last one. Just be careful, because all those activities will most likely make you very thirsty, in which case you'll probably use all your water. Now, places like Tofino are very homeless friendly, therefore there's lots of water fill-up stations. But in places like Victoria or big cities, there's typically really limited options. And you'll realize way too late that there were alternatives right around the corner. So I make sure that I carry a big water reservoir with me at all times. I also have a water filter that I keep just in case, but be sure to scout out your water source.
Parked at this spot. Let me give you a tour. Underwear in that tree. Great spot for a closet. The lights. You got your baby seat. Then you got this concrete pillar. And the best part, come around this corner, you have a literal human
anyways, I think if you're gonna live in a car or a van alone, you have to be prepared to go a little crazy. But with that said,
this has been one of the best decisions that I have ever made in my life. And I think I finally know what I want to do with it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next adventure.